So Honkai Impact released Part 2 or Act 2 of Chapter 37 of Salt, Snow, and Sand. So let's go ahead and see where the adventure takes us with Seely, the other Seely, Susanna, the new characters that we met, and let's see Prometheus' story and how everything folded months ago. Before Misteln and Prometheus arrived in Holy City of Salt and Snow and some other bubble universes were in danger, a young man that would cross their paths was living in the greatest pain he knew. A dizziness strong enough is just as dizzying in its dissipation, he thought to himself, almost laughing out loud. Who am I? Was his second thought after regaining consciousness. Oh, I'm Chen, he soon recalled. Remembering who he was, he stumbled up and spat out whatever was clogging his throat. He was too disgusted to look, but he knew there was blood. Oh no. Yes, blood. The smell of it seemed to follow him recently. Shoot, what a bad day. The man started cursing in his hoarse or RC voice, as though his outbursts were giving him strength. He staggered to his feet, but soon after, fear, like two big hands, suddenly reached out, took a hold of him. What's this? He finally had a look around. Oh, what's that? I'm guessing we're like first person now. Jesus. Alright, let's go ahead and see what's this. Some like stuff on the ground here. What is this? Is that lone wolf? He's dead. Oh, it's a robot. Oh, I thought it was just some stuff there. Now I see it. This is another robot here. Yesterday, Ugly Jack was showing off a bunch of prosthetic body parts to me. And now it's all scrapped. Oh, that's sad. Let's see what's over here. A gun. Is that all that's left of Rebecca? Dead. All dead. The entire lamp gang, except for me. Oh no, what's that? I have to get out of here. My vision is going away. Ooh, he's definitely spat out stuff. Whoa, oh. Who is that, bro? It's a dude. Darn it. Who is this? Dragon Banger? No, they don't have the guts. Maybe Taiksan? No, they... no, we have never met with them before. It doesn't matter who. They're going to be looking for me. Damn, I wonder what even happened here. Oh, what is that? Something's calling him. Anna, please pick up. I'm begging you. Please pick up, Anna. Oh shoot, my headache is back. Who? Anna. Chen, is that you? You jerk. Anna? Do you know how worried I am about you? Did you guys get into a fight again? I was so scared if something were to happen to you. Don't worry, Anna. I'm okay. You always say that. You just don't get it. I'm sorry. I'll come by later, okay? Then you will know I'm fine and I'm not lying. You come over now and don't. You come over now or don't come at all. Damn. So I'm guessing like a fight happened based on that, and he's the only one alive. Looks like your call is over. Who's that? Oh, it's Prometheus.
安心してください。
Please rest assured that I am not your enemy. Hello, this is our first meeting. Abnormal Stigma number 0013. You may call me Prometheus. So he's in Abnormal Stigma? That strange name isn't mine. And don't you ever think about bugging me, brat. You don't yet realize how accurate that name is. For the time being, we'll call you by the name you gave yourself, Chen. You know that and you're still looking for trouble if you mess with the lamp gang. Wait, how do you know my name? I found your coordinates through purchase records and other information via this Arc Cities network. I get it. So you are that hacker everyone was talking about last year? I heard he was small, but I wasn't expecting a little girl like you. Why are you looking for me? First things first. Hacker? I'm afraid you misunderstood. I am not from this bubble universe. I just came here. We are looking for you because we want you to realize the truth. Realize the truth? The truth? What truth? You are... Oh, I know you are one of those guys with a bunch of chips in your brain, going all over, convincing people to believe in your god. I have heard enough, and I don't have time for this. Shoot, what a bad day. Move, I'm in a hurry. Wait. Or what? Can we actually talk to her, or do I... No, we can't. Oh, shoot. We can make it. Hopefully I can. Oh, come on, run faster. Oh, God, we definitely... Oh, go, don't get stuck in the stairs, man. Oh, well, rip. I couldn't get over there. Oh, shoot. I wonder what happens if I fail. Oh, nothing happens. Why did they even add a timer anyways? Oh, no, that's not good. Max surrounded Chen. He knew from his dealings with gangs that he wasn't going anywhere. Ugh, are you crazy? Why did you bring all of these armed mechs with you? Surrender, there's no escaping now. I don't want to take measures that would injure you. In fact, the reason I have been putting up with your personal attacks is exactly that. You are really just here for a chat? Of course, if I wanted to attack, I have had 243 opportunities to kill you since we met. 243? What? Sure, let's talk then, but before that, there's one thing I want to get straight. You want to know if we are the ones that attacked the lamp gang? Looking into his paired eyes, Prometheus shook her head. But do you know who got my brothers killed? Don't you? Yes. Who? At first, Chen assumed Prometheus wasn't willing to talk, but was about to raise his voice when she suddenly raised her fingers and pointed at Chen himself. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. You have your answer, even though it's not the answer you're looking for. So he awoke from his stigma, because he's a stigma, right? He awoke and has no memories, yet he's alive, while his brothers are dead because of him. Wait, you mean it's me? I killed my brothers? Yes. Somewhere in the deepest part of his throbbing head, A searing pain came from within his brain, bringing back the dizziness from a moment ago. Ugh. Are you having a headache? That's none of your business. You are a raving lunatic. Get to the point and leave me alone. You don't believe me. That's unfortunate. What I'm about to explain is closely connected to this tragedy, but as I pointed out, before we clarify anything, you must recognize that your perception has been deviated from reality. The headache and nausea worsen. So it's everything around him just not real? Because they're all dead because of him? I feel like that's what I'm getting at based on what Prometheus said. Chen, you are not a real human. Your real identity is an abnormal stigma, a new life born from a ripple unintentionally set off by Project Stigma in the Sea of Quanta. ... Nonsense. What nonsense are you spewing? I have observed you for a while, number 0013. You were born in this bubble universe merely months ago, but you're mistaking yourself for a normal human being. The stigma automatically fabricated your birth, life experiences, and social connections to replace your missing memories before you were born. This has been seen in previous abnormal stigmata too, but their fabricated memories were not as vivid as yours. Most of what you have fabricated makes logical sense. What you have even deceived yourself into thinking this is who you are. Damn, so everything around him is not real. It's all fake. Shut up. My head feels like it's splitting. Like something is about to break out. Break out? Yeah, why not? Why not? There's a limit to fabricating, and there's definitely be flaws in your story. But if you still don't believe me, can you recall how you met and befriended your departed comrades? ... Of course I can. Not just a passing memory, remembering every single one of them in great detail. Try to remember things about them from months or even years ago. The further from your true birth, the better. They. In excruciating pain, as if having grasped a life-saving straws, Chen submerged himself in memories. ... Whoa. These are my memories, I'm guessing. What? Those losers from Dragon Bang wiped out our land graffiti again. Lone Wolf, Zolf. Yeah, they said that that place is their turf, so only their art is allowed there. Zolf's brother. What do those prosthetic monkeys know about art? Exactly, Wolf. They even mocked you, saying that you'll never dare to act alone despite being called the Lone Wolf. What? Those scums. Let's go beat them up. Lead the way. Huh? Me? Brat. What are you looking at? Nothing. The man nicknamed Lone Wolf dragged his comrade with him. It's nothing, Wolf. Is this the person who was showing off the prosthetics? Ugly Jack. Oh yeah, that is him. Wolf dragged someone else to stand up for him again. Well, it can be helped. Not everyone has steel hard weaponized prosthetics like me. Brawling and turf wars are a piece of cake to me. Am I right? Yes, boss. Jack's lackey? ... And I'm guessing this person right here is Anna or the other girl. I don't know what her name was.
新入りかどうかなんて
Rebecca.
知
There
っ
we
たもんじゃないわ。
I don't care if you're new. I like you the best in the whole camp.
やめてくれレベッカ。
Don't
俺
say
には
that,
彼女がい
Rebecca. You
る。
know I have a girlfriend. Oh.
ねえ、もう行っちゃう
Hey,
の
don't go. He ran away again. Yes. Dot dot dot. Who are you? How dare you eavesdrop on me on the lamp's turf?
へえ、よ
Oh,
く見た
but
ら
a closer look.
割といい
You
顔
are
してるじゃ
actually
ない。
easy on the
や
eye.
めてくれレベ
Don't say that,
ッカ。
Rebecca.
俺には
You
彼女
know
が
I
いる。
have a girlfriend.
はあ、
Huh?
頭でも
You
おか
must
しい
be
の？
sick in the
さ
head,
っさと出て行きな
Scram.
さい。
These people, man. And memory is... Ooh. No,
そんなんじゃない。
this isn't. Whoa, what the hell? My memories. I am.
俺は
I am.
俺は
I am.
やっと思い出しましたか。
Do you remember now? You are not a member of the so-called Lamp Gang. Until recently, those who have died have nothing to do with you. They were strangers. You ran into them by chance, and you imagined them to be your acquaintances and friends, and then... Oh God.
彼らは
Kill them with the insubordinate power of Stigma within you. Oh shoot! Oh goddamn! Oh what? We are the monster! Now if you think about it, those titans right there are probably his people that he killed. You know, we're like, they're just simulating, but I doubt that these are Prometheus like mechs. But that's crazy though. He turned into a freaking Stigma, bro. Oh my gosh. Jesus, bro. God damn. Did an axe right there, bro. Oh my gosh. This animation is so crazy, bro. Like, that's so, like, it's so awesome, I'm not gonna lie. There's more mechs here. There we go.
00135
Number 0013. His vision is when he loses reason is the highest ever observed. How about you? You take over? Sure. Good work, Prometheus.
プロメテウス
Oh, it's here.
00135
Oh my gosh, there's so many voices. Okay, there we go. Number 0013.
なるほど。
I see you are a
確かに発
berserk
狂してい
beast
る獣
indeed.
ね。ここからは私
Now
に任せ
then,
て。
leave it to me.
優しく慰めてあ
I'll
げる。
gently soothe you.
あらゆる
What are they gonna do to him?
魔法の戦
Oh my gosh.
法終わりが来る。
Jeez.
この生物を再現し、これ歴史の命。
Let's go.
こ
Oh,
の生物を再現し、これ歴史の命。
attack maintenance can deflect. Oh, okay.
この生物を再現し、伝説の目覚め確保プレゼントする。
Jesus, that was awesome. Dot dot dot.
知っていますか。
Do you know this woman saved your life?
贖罪者である
A sinner code named Hair seeking atonement. Oh dear Prometheus, you're being mean again. Didn't you agree to call me
その名前に
Misteln
ついて
or
はもう
never use
口に
that
しない
code
って
name
約
again?
束した。でも
And
こんなにも早く人型
I
に戻
can't
れた
take
の
all
は
the credit for how he
全部
returned
私
to
のお
his
かげっ
human
て
form
わけ
so
では。
という
quickly.
ことは
You mean his obsessive delusion that he is a human?
妄想なんて言い
Or
方
number 0013. How could you call it a delusion? I would call it a conviction.
事実と相
The
反する信
stronger
念
an unrealistic conviction, the harder to attain
実現の可能性は乏しくなります
self-actualization.
あなたには似たよう
You
な
have
経
had
験
a
があるは
similar
ずですよね
experience, no? Of course.
もちでも
But unlike the
厳しい
strict
固有
real
世界と
world
違って
in the Sea of
この
Quanta,
漁師の
you
海なら
can say for sure
そ
that
んな馬鹿げた
unrealistic
信念を
convictions
実
can
現できるかも
be
しれないわ
actualized.
そうですね
Yes, actually, I mean, yes, anything is possible. For example, brewing a hot cup of coffee
氷
with
でコー
ice.
ヒーを沸かすことすら
Sigh. I
なん
feel
だか
like you're
最
being
近
harder on me
ますます当たり
nowadays.
がきつくなってるわねまあ
Alright,
それについては
let's
一
get back
旦
on
置いてお
track.
き異種成婚
Abnormal stigma
0013
number 0013. No, Mr. Cheng, you should
Jin-san
understand
だったわね
that everything she said is true
今
now,
なら
right?
彼女の言っていることが
Dot dot dot.
俺の記憶
My
は
memories are made of
全てを
lies,
つなぎ合わせたフェイ
and
ク
I became that
その上
that
あんな化け
monster.
物に
He's laughing.
俺が化け物だと
You want
認
me
め
to
させたい
believe
ん
that
だ
I'm a monster, don't you?
それなら
Congratulations.
目的
You
達
have
成だ
succeeded.
よかったな
Chen let out a weak and desperate laughter as he fell to the floor.
化け物ではあり
Not
ま
a
せん
monster.
異種成婚で
An,
す
an abnormal stigma. You are.
どっちにしろ
It's
同じ
all
だろ
the
うが
same in the end. I'm
どう
not
せ
a
俺は人
human.
間
I
じゃ
am
ない
just a joke.
存在自体が茶番でしかないんだ
Chen slouched on the floor as he continued to vent. Suddenly, he halted as if remembering something important.
まだだ
No,
俺
I
はまだ
can't give up
諦めるわけ
yet.
現実を受け入れよう
It's
としない
unwise to
のは
reject
得
reality.
策ではありません
まあま
Forget
あ
it,
プロメテウス
Prometheus. Let him
何をし
do
ようと
what he wants for now. Chen ignored the two of them and called a number on his comm link. Anna. She's not gonna pick up, is she?
出てくれ
Please pick up.
あな頼
I'm
むから
begging you.
早く出て
Pick
く
up,
れ
Anna. Oh, we connected.
アナ
Anna? The Art Comms network kindly reminds you that the IP address you're trying to connect to is not in use. Please check the address or refresh your DNS server before trying again. Thank you for your support and have a nice day. Oh, no. Anna did not exist. Oh, this is sad, bro. This is freaking sad, bro.
ジン
Chen.
どうやら
At least
俺は
I have a
大
vivid
した想像
imagination.
力を持ってたようだな
Did you
お
know?
前たちには
Anna
分か
is
る
my type from head to
アナは
toe.
どんなところも俺好みだったんだまるで
I
自
have
分のために
always
存
wondered
在している
how
よ
I
うな
could be so fortunate to have a
完璧な彼女が
girlfriend
できるなん
who
て
seems to be
ど
tailor
こ
made
から
for
幸運
me.
が転がり込んできたんだって
And she ain't she
それもそうだ
wait,
よな
and ain't she tailored for me?
何しろ
Because I made her
もとも
up.
と俺が想像していた存在だっ
Oh
たん
my
だからな
gosh, bro, this
本当に笑え
what a
る
joke. I'm going to die laughing. Da da
どう
da.
やら
Looks like
現実
you
を
are
受け入れる
finally
ために
beginning
最初
to
の一
accept
歩を踏み出せたみ
reality.
たいね
I don't think he's accepting reality. I think he turned the schizo, bro.
現実を受け
Accept
入れる
reality? Hell no.
もうどうでもい
Nothing
い
matters anymore. What do you want? Do what you will with me. Chen seemed to have lost the will to live, and he fell to the floor once more. Who am I? When this question appeared again, there were no memories to
異種
answer
成
it.
婚が生まれた
In
の
any
は
way, I'm responsible for the birth of an abnormal stigma.
だから
So
あなたた
I
ちに
will
対する処
personally
分を
decide and
私
execute
が自ら
your
決めた
punishment. What?
また成
This
婚
stigma
か
thing again.
お前た
Who
ちは一
exactly
体
are
誰
you
なんだ
guys?
私は
You can think of me as an AI with a physical
人
body.
工知能
AI? Then your prosthetics
人
are
類がどんなに自分を
humans
改
can
造し
never
ようと
replace their limbs
手足を入れ替える用意された
as conveniently as I
私にはなり
can,
ません
regardless of how they may modify themselves.
ちなみに私は
And I, you
あ
can
なた
say
た
that
ち
we are the same breed.
つまり
being
意
an
志成功と
abnormal
同じ存在
stigma.
だと思って構わないわ。
お前と俺が
We are the same
同
breed.
じだからお前たち
So
は
neither of you
どっち
are
も人間じゃ
human.
ない
Misteln and Prometheus shook their heads simultaneously.
人間じゃないの
If
に
you're not human,
責任や
why are you talking? Why are you,
自分のやらかしたこと
why
の
are you
後始末とやらを
talking about
考えるのか
responsibilities, trying to clean up the mess you made?
そのことに
I'm
ついては
surprised by this too. I've
自分でも
always
不思議に思ってる
thought that it'll be more
自分は
carefree.
私としては
On the contrary,
あなたは
I
無関心
think
すぎだと
that you
思います
are
が
too carefree.
あら
Oh my!
また厳しく指摘
Another
されちゃ
harsh
ったのね
criticism. Damn, bro, Prometheus, jeez.
自分が人
Can
間で
you
はない
still
ことを知
hold
っているの
on
に
to ambitions when you know you're not human? Huh? Misteln and Prometheus looked at each other as if they have heard something truly
正
bizarre.
直に言うと
Truthfully speaking, I don't know why you're asking this question. From what I see, humans can also lead aimless lives, and non-human can also make history. In the end, humanness is the most frivolous factor when it comes to measuring human
その
nature.
通りよ。
Yeah, someone once
こんな
said
獣が人
a
間として
breed
生
who
活
lives
す
as a
れば
human is a
それは
human.
人間と
A human
なる。
who lives as a beast is a
人間が
beast.
この世に生まれ
As long as you are
自分
born
の意志を持っ
in
た以
this
上
world and possess your own
人
will,
間かどうかなんて
human or
関係
not,
ないわ。
you should live on happily.
お前は
Didn't
処分
you
するって
say
言
that
った
you'll
よな
punish me? Misteln nodded.
あなたを処分する
Through
の
this
は
punishment, I hope you can understand.
人として生きるこ
As a
と。
human, you need
誰
is
かの
not
許可なんて
validation
必要
from
ない。
others. What a human really needs is
本
to
当に必要
acknowledge
ない。
reality and uphold.
現実を見定めて責任を負うこと。
I do not like the sound of that. Are they gonna kill him?
だから
So
この儀式に協
you
力してくれ
kindly
るわ
let
よ
me
ね。
finish this ritual. Ritual? Dots.
これは
This is
あなたが向かうの
you
は
will go in the
シャニアテの名
substance
の
of
本
the
質
Shiriak name, a
虚
space
構
where
と真実
reality
の
and
境が
fiction
存在し
blend.
私によって芽を
Worry
出し
not
た
as the imperfect growing from the
不完全
seed
なる
because
ものよ
of me
安心
is
しな
a
さい
little home where you and
そこは
I
私たち
are
の
allowed
存在
to
が許された
exist.
楽園。そこで
Once you
世
learn
界に
everything
まつわ
about
る
the
全て
world
を知
from
った
it,
時生きることの答え
perhaps
を
we can search for the answer
一緒に
to
見つ
what
けに行きま
living
しょう。
is together. So she basically absorbed them.
0013
Abnormal stigma number 0013 acquired.
そうね。
Hmm?
さてと
Okay, time to
そろそろ
continue our
旅を再
journey.
開しましょう。果てしなく
Here in
広
the
が
Sea
る
of
領
Quanta,
地。
there are no rules, no boundaries, and no
宇宙
limitations.
が誕生した
It
頃
has
から存
existed
在
since
し
the creation of the universe,
大半は
but most of the time,
誕
it
生
was
した
just
ばかり
a
の宇宙のよう
barren
に荒れ果
as
てて
where the universe was created.
長きにわたる
After a
時を
long time, it
偶然にも
established a
固有世界と
coincidental
何らか
connection
の
with
つ
the
ながり
planets of the real
その
world.
つながり
This connection, or
も
rather
しくは対称性の破れば
symmetry
何も存在
breaking,
しない量子
created the
の
concept of
時
time
間を
in the
作り上げた。
originally empty sea of Quanta.
そして時間が
As
進んでいくにつれ
as that
様
time
々な
evolved,
空間が誕生し
various spaces began to
消
form
失
and
する。その
disappear.
中の大
Most of them
半は
were
固有
merely
世界
shadows
の
of the
影
real
に過
world,
ぎず
destined to disappear in
ほ
an
んのしかし
instant.
稀に
But occasionally,
様々な
most
理由で
universes
残り
would
外部から養分を取
persistently
り込むこと
remain
で
for a
生物のように生き生きと
myriad
自身を維
of
持し続け
reasons.
る固
They
有存
constantly
在が
absorb nutrients from the outside world like a new life sustaining
自
itself.
分なりの規則
They
で動
operate
き
their own rules, theoretically
理論上
speaking.
では独
They
自の
could even
権能
develop
さえ
their
も
own
付加させること
authority,
まさにこの時
just like the
空
two
間に
who
さざ波
form
を立たせ
gentle
ている
ripples
二人
in
の
this space.
指定ポイントに到達しました
We have arrived at our destination.
あら
Oh,
座標
are
に
the
ズレはない
coordinates accurate?
もしできる範囲
Mostly
で
so. You are getting better at moving through different spaces in the Sea of Quanta, Misteln. My, thank you for the compliment, but I am afraid it's only
そ
because
れ
we
はおそら
have
く利用
more
可能な
beacons
ビ
to
ーコンが
work
増え
with
てきたから
now.
よ 人間の
How
こと
do
わざでは
humans
確
describe this again?
か塵も積もれば山となる
Many a little
ってい
makes
う
a
のよね
mickle? What?
なるほど
I see you use the coordinates of the previous 13 bubble universes as a reference to grasp your relative location in the Sea of Quanta. Yes, crossing the river by touching the
ようなも
stones.
のよ。それに
And I located
こんな
those
にも
bubble
早く
universes
世
so
界の
quickly
泡を特定で
because
き
of
たの
my
は
strong connection with
あの
those
子たちが
children.
へその緒ね
It's like an umbilical cord that can't be cut.
異種成婚
Abnormal stigma, huh?
あら
You
どうしたの
seem
突然
to have something to say.
何か話したいことでも
Dot dot dot. It's nothing. I just haven't figured out why you started on this journey.
未だに情報不足
Insufficient
で
info.
出発する前
Hey,
に
didn't I explain
何も
myself
隠さず
before
全
we
て話
began
したわ
this
よ
trip?
ね
Abnormal stigma
私の
have
せいで
appeared because of
異種性
me.
今となれば
I am.
私が唯一
I'm the
残
one
った責任者
responsible,
ね
at least for
それが
now.
原因の一
I
つであ
believe
り
that part of your reason or your initial reason, but after 13 unique journeys, your actions confuse
13
me.
回も繰り返すと
Oh.
異種成婚による被
If
害を
you
防ぐだ
wanted
けな
to
ら
eradicate the dangers of abnormal stigma, you could use more effective means, or rather more cruel ones. What? For example, getting rid of them before they even
影から消
notice
し去ること
you.
しかしあなたはい
But
つ
you
も
choose to absorb them before deciding on what to do with them based on their actions or
も
nature.
しかして
So you prefer
暗
an
殺者を演じる
assassin.
方が好きなの
Wow. So she already has acquired 13 abnormal like stigma people, right? Which she has absorbed them. I mean, no, she has like, yeah, observe them and see what they do instead of just killing them like Prometheus says.
手段に好き嫌
I
いな
have
ど
no
ありません
preference towards any method. I thought that you'll agree with my method more
何も
after
異種成
absorbing
婚たちの
the
生態を見てきたんだから てっ
absorbing
きり私のやり方に賛同してくれているのかと思って
observing
たわ
the way these abnormal stigmata
否
live.
定はできませ
I
ん
cannot deny you're
素
cuter
直
when
に
you're
話してくれ
honest.
るのね
Dot, dot, dot.
はいはい
I
分
know I
かって
haven't
る
answered your
そう
question.
ね
I
観察してい
observe
た理由
them
は
to
彼らが私の定
ascertain
義した
whether
生
they
命
fit
に当ては
my
まるのかどう
definition
か
of life.
定義
Definition.
プロメテウス
Prometheus, to you,
あなたにとって
what is life?
命題としてはあまりにも範囲が広
This
すぎます
is
し
an ambiguous and complex question. According to what's commonly seen in the real world, life
エネ
can
ル
be
ギー
a
を排出す
system
ることがで
that
き刺激に反応し繁殖機能を持つ存在です
metabolises, responds and
それ
reproduce.
を基準に
According
して
to
しま
that
うと
definition, what does that make
あな
us?
たと私はね
Unhumans?
人ならざる
Contradictory?
人それ自
Contradictory,
体が
isn't
矛盾
it?
し
確かにそうです
You're
ね
right.
だからこそ
So, as if someone
一般
denied
の
by the
定義
common
によって
definition,
否定された
I have
私
my
は
own way to define
それ
it.
は簡単な
It's
もの
simple
よ
regarding of its structure.
物
Any
質的な
existence
構
that
造
tries
が
to
どうあれ
grow is alive.
自らの成長を
So
感じ取れ
anything
る
that's
存在が
living, whether it's dead or
生命と
alive,
言える
is alive.
成長
Grow?
ええ
Yes.
異種成婚
Let's use
0006号を例として
abnormal
あげましょ
stigma
う
number 0006
あ
as
の
an
子は全
example.
身が
That child
二酸化
is
ケイ素
covered
に覆われ
in
ていて
silicon dioxide,
水晶の
like
ハ
a
リネズミ
crystal
みたいだった
hedgehog.
わ
Once he interacts with an
しかも
organism,
有機体
he
と接触
absorbs
する
that
ことで
organism
それを取り込み
construct
自身と同化
and
させられる
symbolizes it.
彼のことは
Do
覚え
you
ている
still
わよね
remember
控え
him?
めに表現して
He's
も
unforgettable to say the least.
何より
Most
脳も
interestingly,
有機
perhaps
体の
due
一
to
部で
due to the
吸収
brain
され
also being part of the
徹底
organism,
的に同化
once
し
he
て
has
しまうと
completely
被害者の記憶や知識
assimilated it,
さらに
the
は性
victim's
格さえも
memories, knowledge, and personality will be
0006
absorbed
号
by
に取り込ま
number
れてしまう
0006.
6つ目の世界
When,
の泡に
when
たど
we
り着いた
arrived in the
時に
sixth
はも
bubble
う
universe, we
そ
had
こで
already
最も
become
知恵のある
the
存在になっていたわね
cleverest yet,
それと同
most
時に
agonized life
最
there.
も苦しい世
Oh, he had. Oh, darn, my bad.
安楽死させるしかなかったけど
Although we could
私に
only
は確かに見えたの
empathize him,
吸
to
収
me,
を
the
続ける彼の中
only
にあっ
way
た
he constantly absorbed
命の輝き
radiated
を
life. How
本当に
regretful.
残念だった
He
わ
was so adorable. It was
あん
like
なに可愛
a
い人だ
form
っ
of
たのに
cancer for the universe. What?
例えるなら
あなたと
I'm
旅をす
beginning
る
to
ことに
reconsider
合
my
理性がある
decision
の
to
かどうか
traveling with you.
改めて見る
Oh my,
例
was
と
that
して
too extreme to use number
0006
006
号は
as an
少し極
example?
端すぎたかしら
oh
言い方を
my
変えましょう
gosh, bro. Let's
常
put
に
it,
反
let's
省
put
し
it this
続け
way. I think an
変化を
existence
重ね
that
てい
can
き
constantly introspect, change, and break through limits is the one that constantly grows and thus conveys the true meaning of life. Looking at this type of life gives me immeasurable satisfaction. Aside from my sense of responsibility, this is the strongest motivation to continue this journey. Are you satisfied with that answer? I understand now. You truly have some eccentric interests. But after some careful evaluation, I still think that we can travel together for now. That's great. This journey may unexpectedly provide me with plenty of new data. Don't say unexpectedly, it's hurtful. That's enough. The Sea of Quanta is no place for small talk. Let's get back on track. Okay. Okay, oh shoot. Let's use her though. Man, look at her, she's strong. Is it over? Okay. Let's go. Okay, there we go. More monsters are gonna spawn here now. My old. Wait, where do I go? Attacking nobody. That's a cool ult. Oh. I traveled a little more. Damn. She's strong, bro. Huh? This is... Be careful, these aren't the same as the typical monsters that lurk in the Sea of Quanta. Oh god, man. Should probably use ult, bro. What the hell? Oh, that wasn't over. Stubborn phase. Let's charge that up. Oh, look at that, it's actually a shield. Alright, we're getting some damage now. Let's finish this. I think it was already dead. Oh, never mind. Okay, there we go. A little more. There we go. Nice. Let's see what that bubble universe is about. I think that might be the bubble universe that we are at in the story. Those monsters look bizarre. I have never seen anything like them. They resemble monsters stitched together by a child in their nightmare. Oh god. Granted, there is no record of them in my database, but the possibilities in the Sea of Quanta are infinite. However, the location they appeared in is too convenient. Are you saying I can sense the bubble universe we need to visit abnormal Stigma number 0014 behind this door. Yet so many bizarre monsters rush out near this portal. Don't tell me they are the watchdogs that someone assigned to this place. That makes things interesting. Not only that, I have a more interesting assumption to make. Maybe number 0014 placed the monsters here. Good, Prometheus. You understood my way of thinking perfectly. How wonderful. No, it isn't. Hey, don't be shy. Yes. Let's go and investigate this bubble universe. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see what's up. Oh, there we go. Enter. Dot. This is... Oh, this is... I forgot the name already. Salt... Holy City, Snow, something. Oh, what a lovely little world. Okay. Can you sense where the target is? Clearly, it's deeper within the city. Is it in that crystal tower? Let's go. As usual, we should gather intelligence first. I'll make good use of my social skills. After all, every face-to-face conversation is a good opportunity to understand humans first. You should learn how to not get into trouble others first. ... Oh, look at that. Do you think if we turn around we can see her? No, we can't. That would be cool though if we could low-key like turn around behind us and just see. Let's see, inn owner. Excuse me. Hello, are you two, are the two of you looking for a place to stay? Then you have come to the right place. This is a convenient and quiet location, and because I have just started my business, the best rooms are still available. Oh, there's no need to that. There's no need for that. We just want to ask. Hold on, Misteln. What? You lack the ability to negotiate. It will negatively impact our first impression if we decline their request before obtaining information. It will be hopeless if we refuse to provoke information because of that. If provide information because of that, it's best to not express our opinion yet. After the other party has given us the information we need, we can turn them down. Well, I can tell that you don't intend to stay. Wow, Prometheus, you are improving rapidly. But since this lady refuses to provide information, I can change your mind by through other means. So, what are you trying to do? Relax, she's just making a bad joke. A terrible damn joke if that's... Jesus, man. Just ask away. We aren't petty people here at the Holy City. Oh, fantastic. My first question is... And so Misteln asked the inn owner and a barrage of questions about this bubble universe. I see. This is an interesting world indeed. Thank you. You are welcome. It's rare to see travelers from outside the Holy City. It was nice to chat with you two. If you have nothing else to say, to ask, I'll greet our local guests now. The two thanked the inn owner and left hurriedly. Looks like we are lucky enough to ask the right person. The information she gave us is enough for us to get the basic understanding of this place. Of all the bubble universes we have been to, this is probably the most peaceful and stable one yet. But it's different from the universe that number 0013 was in. The technology and advancements here seems to have stopped in the Middle Ages of the real world. Seems like we can't locate our target through a network or electric signals, which means we can only rely to sniff around. Sniff around. Why do you ironically look happy about this? You care too much about efficiency, Prometheus. Sometimes putting in effort makes the process more interesting.
そうですか。
Is that so? Then let me remind you of something
誰
interesting.
かに後をつけられ
That
てる
someone
って
is
言いたい
following
の？
us?
気づいていたんですね。
Fine, you have already
も
noticed.
ちろん。
Of course.
でも勘が
But
鋭い
that's
とか
not
じゃない
because
わ。
I'm sharp. It's
強いて
because
言う
that
なら
person
相
doesn't
手
intend to
が
hide.
真剣に
直接相手
Are
をしてみ
you
ます
going
か。
to confront that person?
だとしても
Ah,
も
well,
っとふさわしい
we'll
舞
need a
台が
better
必
stage
要
for
ね。
that.
ついてきて。
Follow me. Okay. A better stage for that. Go elsewhere. Whoa.
この
This
辺
should
でい
be
いか
the
しら？
place.
半径50
No
メートル
sign
に
of
人
people
の気
within
配
a
はゼロ。
50-meter
問題あり
radius
ません。
confirmed. Oh, she sees something right there. Look at that. Look at that little thing. She sees it right there.
後ろでうろうろしてる
Whoever's
あな
been
た。
following us, you may show
もう出てきても
yourself.
いい
You
のよ。
may show yourself.
見つかってしまった以上、
Since my cover is blown,
先手を打つしかないわ
I'll
ね。
take the initiative.
ミステル、気をつけ
Misteln,
てくだ
watch
さ
out.
大丈夫
It's
よ。
fine.
ち
Oh. A blade sliced through the air and swept past Mistelin's cheek. A few swips of hair fell slowly to the
あ
ground.
らあら、
Oh, uh-oh.
初対面の
Looks
お
like
友
our new
達さん
friend
ね。
isn't very
随
welcoming.
分と
い。初対面だったんですか。
So this is your first time meeting with a furious attack? I thought you were very familiar with each other.
私って
I'm not someone who likes to make enemies. Anyway, it looks like you are the target. Please resolve this quickly. Prometheus then floated to the side and folded her arms, as if she really did not intend to lift a finger for whatever was happening.
人類の美徳に自分勝手なんて含まれてないわよ。
Recklessness is not a noble human trait, number 17.
それと
But our friend here
そちらのお
seems
友
to
達さ
have
ん
a
も
different
何かあなた
opinion.
たちこの世界の泡の人じゃないんでしょ。
The two of you aren't from this bubble universe, right? Oh, this is
困ったわ
difficult.
ね。
Although you're not
尾行技術は
too
いさ
good
さか
at
残念だけ
talking,
ど
you are
意外にも
perceptive. She stepped forward laboriously, as if she hadn't seen the blade in her opponent's
確か
hand.
にあなたの言う
As
通
you
り
said, we are not
私
residents
た
of
ちは
this
この
place,
地の
but
住
I
民じゃない
assume you
わ。
are the same. Shigure Kira's blade gripping hand began to tremble, though not because of Mistelin's
そ
words.
の顔、
This face,
あなたは
you are. Oh, she knows who she is.
あら、
What's wrong
私の顔が
with my face?
いえ、そんなこと
No,
ありえないわ。人間ですら
you
な
are
いあ
not
なた、
her. You are
彼女
not
であ
even
るはずがない。
human.
一体何者
What
なの？
exactly are you?
どうしてセシリア様の真
And
似を
why
してる
are
わ
you
け？
disguising as Cecilia-sama?
どうやら仲間の
Looks like
言
my
う通り
companion was right.
知り
You
合い
are
だ
an
ったよ
old friend,
ね。
but I am not the
でも
one who's familiar with
私と知り合
you.
っているわけではない。でも
But
あ
I
なたの亡
have
き友人の顔と名字を勝
betrayedly
手に引き継
inherited
いでい
that
る以
person's
上、
appearance and name.
知らないふりをするわけに
So
も
I
い
can't
かないわ
pretend
ね。
that I don't know her at
改
all.
めて自己
Let
紹
me
介するわ。
introduce myself again. I am
私は
Misteln
ミステルシャニア
Shariak, and
シャ
an
ニアテ
idea
の成
born
婚から
from
誕
the
生し
Shariak
たイデでも
Stigma.
見ての通
But as
り、
you can see,
彼
we
女
are
とは
very
全く
different.
違う存
We are
在なの。
we are very different. I hope
あ
this
なたを
doesn't
不快にさせていなければい
infuriate
いの
you.
だ。 落ち着くのよ。
Calm
シ
down,
グレキラ。
Shigure Kira. This
彼女の
person
話は
said
全て
all
た
that
だ私を
either
怒り狂わせるためのも
to
の。
provoke you,
そうでなか
or
ったとし
she's
ても
really
単に無知だから片
ignorant.
とにかく
Regardless,
そんなこと
you
言う
don't
ま
have
で
to
もないわ。
explain any further.
あ
Of
なた
course,
と
I
彼
know
女
the
に
two
は
of you
雲泥の
and
差がある
can't
もの。
even compared with each other. Then, since I have cleared it up for you,
事実
shall
を
we
認め
end
てい
this
る以
fight?
上、
Wait, we're gonna fight her.
何の恨みもない
I
なら
believe that we have
こ
nothing
んな
against
風に
each
やり合
other.
う必要
No
なん
need
て
to
ない
get
はず。
violent. Question mark.
それとも
Unless you have
自分な
personal
りの目
motives
的
as
が例え
well.
ば
Such
も
as
しも
if
の
you are
話だ
also
け
not
ど
human like me,
あなたも
everything you
私と
do is only to
人
prove
な
your
らざる存在で
existence.
突拍子もないこ
Then
の
I
一
can
連の行動
understand
や
your
私へ
unexpected
の不可解な
actions
敵意
and
は
hostility towards me very well. Huh?
まったく
I can't bear to watch this anymore.
あら
Oh, what does that
高みの見物を決め込んでいる
what does
誰
the
かさ
person watching by the sidelines have to
何か
そん
say?
な風に説明してい
With
た
the
ら
way you are explaining, I'm afraid this reckless assassin wouldn't know what you are trying to even say if you used all the time in the world. Miss Assassin, do you know what a stigma is? Huh? Why do you ask? Great, it looks like you have some knowledge about it. Then, simply put, Misteln over here is a Shiriak Stigma crystal, a new human that's gathered all the Shiriak family historical legacy. ... What do you mean? Are you trying to brag? Huh? Enough of your nonsense, she can hold a candle to Cecilia-sama, so quit putting on airs. ... Prometheus shrugged at hair. Look, at least I managed to provoke her. Yeah, I really am angry now. Whatever you are, it ends here. Wait. What? Oh, who's that? Who's that? Who are you? The holy city will not overlook such insolence. You are a resident of this level universe too? This is none of your business. Fighting is forbidden in the holy city. Why can't anyone listen? Oh god. ... Huh? What? Wait, what? Oh my... Did he just erase her? Did they erase her or teleport her? What the hell? They're even surprised too. Like, look at them. They're like, huh? In an instant, the girl was whisked away in a fissure in the time-space, as if disappearing into the end of the Sea of Quanta. Misteln? It's nothing. I just put a stop to this fight full of misunderstandings. She has no reason to fight me, much less this person in front of us. So, that troublesome girl, you are sure she's not an abnormal stigma? Yes. Perhaps she may carry some blood that doesn't belong to this world, but ultimately, she's a normal life. Looking at her partner, resolute expression, the mechanical girl shrugged and spoke no further. From their long time together as partners, she already knew that this perfect idea has never misjudged a stigma. We were too distracted by that radical drifter to notice. Our target is standing right in front of us. Oh shoot! So the stigma is that person that's dressed in black. As the commotion settled and the crowd of residents dispersed, the white monsters retracted behind the true target. After a short silence, Misteln took a step forward, breaking the stalemate. By the looks of it, you are the one that the residents had talked about. The sage who traverses life and death. Your appearance alone can calm everyone's unease. The influence you hold over this world reminds me of a certain friend. I do not know you, Sage of the High Tower. Sorry, I was talking to myself. Regardless, I apologize for abruptly starting a fight. As compensation, I have already sent that drifter back to the Sea of Quanta. ... Choosing to stay silent, but at least you don't see us as enemies, do you? I'm guessing those white light forms behind you act as your commands. They have gotten rather quiet since just now. Can I take this as a form of acknowledgement? You acknowledge us as outsiders on behalf of this world. Before she even finished herself, the sage turned around and defensively showed her back to the two. She did not give any orders to the white monsters behind her, but walked away towards where she had come from. You are going back already? I did apologize, but aren't you putting too much trust in us? Don't you need a contract or something? I only came to stop the fight within the holy city. Since the fight has ended, I have no reason to leave the tower. The aura
君た
cells
ちが
are
この
the
世界の
same.
秩序を
As long
壊
as
さなけ
you
れ
do
ば
not
彼らは
interrupt the
攻撃
order
して
in
こな
this
い。
world, they will not attack
どこ
you.
に行こうが
This is
何をしようが
it is your
君
freedom
た
to
ちの自由
go
だ。
wherever and do whatever you want.
私たちの正
You
体
are
でさ
not
え
curious about our
あなた
origins
は興味
either.
を抱かない。
賢者である私
I
が
only
関
care
心
about
を
my
持つのは
duties as a sage.
そうなのね。
Is that so?
その
You
職
wish to
責
hurry back to that tower
もしくは
because of your
肩書きとで
job
も
or
言うのか
rather
しら。
your identity? Hearing the word tower, the sage hesitated for a
死後
moment.
の世界の人々に
Those are the
月の光
underworld
が必要だ。
required moonlight, so I cannot seize
異例
my
を止めるわけには。
consolation.
死後の世界の人々。
Those in the underworld, I see.
そんな重大な
Since
使
you
命を
hold
背負っ
such
て
a
いる
heavy
のなら
duty, you
あなたの
shouldn't
時間を
hold.
奪う
We
わけ
shouldn't
にはい
hold you
かないわ。
back.
その説明は
Her explanation
前に住
matched
民
the
たちから
legend
聞い
the
た伝
residents
説と
told
一致
us,
している。
but
ただの偶然かしら。
is that really a coincidence? See, Sea of Quanta is, as its name suggests, wide like the sea, and regardless what universe it creates, it'll definitely have its unique rules and logic. As a Stigma life form that could see through most nature, she believed that her judgment would not be shaken by others' opinions. She had locked onto the target and only needed to consider how to clean up this time. But perhaps she did not notice that her cooperative companion had other way of locking on to their target. Oh, what is Prometheus gonna do? Dot.
待ってください、賢者。
Please hold on, so-called sage. Dot. As just as the sage shifted her attention, the mechanical girl moved in front of her and blocked her way. Misteln, you should know better than me. What risks would surface from leaving her to her own devices? Dot. It seemed like the two only reached one consensus in the interaction earlier. The sage from the tower was the abnormal Stigma they were looking for. Like Chen, she did not know of the strong power she held within her. This was a time bomb in that is... Wait, what? This was a time bomb and that was too dangerous for the residents in this bubble universe. We cannot repeat that tragedy in that Ark City. Question mark.
自分を責めて
Are
る
you
の。
blaming yourself, Prometheus? Dot. The mechanical girl did not reply, but her actions spoke for her.
異例の邪魔をしてはなら
The
ない。
consolation must not be interfered. Please move out of the way.
ミステル、
Misteln and I have confirmed that there are no residents nearby. Perhaps their deep faith prevents them from approaching the sage. This is the best opportunity to take her back to the Stigma space. Dot. Misteln? I never thought such a misunderstanding would occur between us. Is this also a side effect of being
人類
close
に
to
近づいた
humans?
副作用かしら。
Whoa, what happened? Just before the mechanical girl could react, a particular figure attacked her.
気をつけて。
Look out,
不意
oh
打ちを仕掛け
god.
てくるなんて。ということは、
So ambushing us is...
私たちはこの世界の秩序を
We
破っ
have
そうよね。
disturbed order in this world.
これも想定通りです。
This is within our expectations.
歴史にも雫。この
I don't know what just happened there, but
急だ。
yes.
なんでいつも
Why does everyone misunderstand me when I'm trying to have a civilized
みんなに誤
conversation?
解されてしまうのかしら。これ
Yeah, poor Misteln.
この王生罰を再現する。伝説の再び目覚めなさい。
Hello?
これが歴史の任の雫。
There we go.
この大きな
Okay, there we
これ
go.
で終わりね。
This is the end. Misteln was sure that she gauged her powers well. She defeated the sage's monsters, but did not annihilate them. To her, it demonstrated her sincere wish to negotiate, and it worked. Realizing that she could not get past the two of them by force, the sage gave up, resting and stood still in silence.
また謝らないとい
Looks
けない
like I
わ
have to apologize again, but
でも、
this time
今
it's
回は
more of
プロメテウスのせいよね
Prometheus' fault, isn't
早く
it?
彼女に謝
Hurry
り
up
な
and
さい
apologize. The mechanical girl often went into a system down mode when facing a situation she couldn't understand, but now she learned to take different perspective and process those incomprehensible thoughts and emotions gradually. Her partner allowed the sage to leave, but she hurried to stop her. Because to her knowledge, her partner had always been a whimsical person. It was not beneath her to put all the residents of this bubble universe in danger. But whimsical also meant that there was a reason behind her every act. Prometheus only remembered that when Misteln Shiriak blocked the white monster's attacks. What's wrong?
また
Did
フ
your
リーズし
system
ているの
crash
かしら
again?
ごめんなさいね
Sorry, this child is
こ
a
の子は
little
ちょっぴりじゃじゃ
impulsive.
馬なの
Maybe she's
もしか
too
したら
nervous upon meeting you.
すみません
I'm sorry. In reality, Prometheus wasn't apologizing to the sage, but Misteln did not harp on it and went back to the main issue. Look,
彼女も
she
謝ったで
apologized.
しょ
Can you give us a chance to
もう
have
一度
a
私たちに
nice chat again?
しかし
Honestly,
君たちと
I don't
話す
know
ことなどない
I don't know what there is to talk about with you.
そう言わないで
Don't say that.
まあこんな風
Although
に
we
無
don't
理やり
look
引
like
き止めると
villains, given that we
確かに私たち
forcefully
の方が
detain
悪者で
her.
も味方を変えると
But from another
私たち
perspective,
の利
can
害
we
は一致
still
しているはず
agree
よ
on what's at stake
この世界の住
in
民
terms
を
of
守
protecting the
る
residents of this
っていう
bubble
点
universe? Huh?
あなたの体内
You
に
believe that you possess the
生死を
power
導
to
く力があると思っ
traverse
ている
life
みたい
and
だけ
death.
ど
This
そ
might
れは
not
あ
be
ながち妄想では
false.
ないでも私は
But
確信が持
I'm
てな
not
い
sure
の
if you truly understand the nature
あなた
of
が
that
本当に
power,
その
or
力の
rather
本質
its origin.
もし私なら
I
説
can
明でき
explain
る
it to you and help you
それ
find
だ
the
けで
right
は
way to use your power.
そうどうかしら
How about it?
少し
Are
話
you
を聞いてみ
interested
ない
now? Dot dot dot. Dot dot
なるほ
dot.
ど
I see.
それがあなたの
So
目
this was
的で
your
すね
goal all along,
Misteln
Misteln.
これは
This is
同情とい
probably
うべきでしょう
empathy
か
or
それとも
sympathy.
あなたは
Do you blame
一斉
yourself
君
for
たちの
what
境遇
happened
に
to
対
those
して
abnormal
自責
stigmata?
の
Regardless of the mechanical girl's confusion, the confrontation went on. Dot dot
どう
dot. How about it?
私の
You won't
話を
lose
聞いて
anything
みて
from
もいいんじゃ
listening
ない
to
か
me,
しら
right?
言ったはずだ
Like I said,
君たちと
I
会話
have
を
no
する
need to
必要は
talk
な
to
い
you.
でも
And yet,
行動を起
you
こ
are
したりは
taking
し
no
ないの
action. You were in a hurry
急
to
いで
get
行動に戻らな
to
くて
go
も平
back
気
to
な
your
のそれ
tower.
とも
Or do you also
私
agree
たち
that
と
it's
全
better
力
to
でぶつか
understand
るよ
my
りも
thoughts instead of
先
fighting
に
head
私の考
on?
えを聞いておいた方
As she carefully broached the subject, she observed the sage's expression beneath her cloak. As an inhuman abnormal stigma, her train of thought was rather inflexible. Misteln just had to find the right way to say she was confident that she could do it. Even though the sage remained silent, she could tell she could convince her any time now. So she decided on the safest diction.
特に異論がない
If you
よう
have
な
no other opinions, I'll begin, alright? But she did not expect the sage reaction at
そろ
all.
そろ時間だ
Alright, it's about time. What?
残念だが
Unfortunately,
君たちは
it
私の
seems
考
like
え
you
を理
still
解
don't
してい
understand
な
what I
いよ
mean.
これまで多くを語ら
I
なかった
wasn't
の
willing
は
to say
会
more
話よりも
because
も
to
っ
me,
と効率的
there
な
are
コミュ
more
ニケーション
efficient
の取
ways
り
of
方がある
communication between us.
君たちはこ
The
の
two
世
of
界
you
の
are
住
not
民で
residents
は
of this universe, so my question,
だから
my
私の
identity
賢
and
者
my
としての肩書
responsibilities
きと
as a
職責あなた
sage, you are sharp
かな
in
り
this
鋭い
regard.
だが
That's
問題は
fine.
ない
I have my ways to prove to
私はこの
you.
世界
In
が直面し
reality,
ている
this
現実を
universe was to
君
face
たちに証明
with
する
the
ことが
time of my leaving. What?
秩序を
The
疑う来
visitors
客
who
よ
question our orders,
それを
since you
壊す気
intend
な
to interrupt it,
相応の
then
責
you
任を
shall
負って
bear
も
the
らうこの
consequences.
世界が暗闇に
When
落
this
ちた
universe falls into
私のため
darkness,
に道を切り開
make
け
way for me again. What? Just as the conversation ended, the sky dimmed. The top of the bright tower lost its glow, and the floating flakes of salt disappeared into the night sky, as if countless souls have simultaneously lost their way. The residents of Holy City quickly opened their windows to watch this phenomenon and lowered their heads in frantic prayer, as if someone had seized the entire city. Everything stopped in that moment. Once the constellation stopped, the tower would lose its light and no longer guide those in the underworld. The legend was right before their eyes. This isn't a trick, but the way this world operates. But an abnormal stigma shouldn't possess this sort of power. Looks like you have recognized your mistake. I thought this would be the fastest way to have you abandon those one-sided thoughts. This is the fastest way to continue the constellation again. Well then, I shall return to the tower now. Stopping it for a moment shouldn't cause any consequences. Some of the oracles have lost control, but they should be no threat to you. I trust that you won't stop me again before you fully comprehend everything. In a way, she's more dangerous than that other abnormal stigmata, but she has a clear rationality. There shouldn't be any severe consequences for now. And if she's really sustaining the world's operations, we shouldn't interfere arbitrarily. We need to find a way to break the connection. I agree. But Misteln, there's a huge contradiction in this. You have affirmed that she is an abnormal stigmata born from the Stigma project. Yes, I believe so. She is an abnormal stigma that has been born no more than half a year ago. But the existence of this bubble universe and their faith in this age has been around for far longer than half a year. Yes, from this perspective, she cannot be the real sage that has brought deliverance to this universe. The residents probably see this foreign entity as a deity because she fits into the legend and coincidentally appeared at the right time. Then the light from the tower and those white monsters that she calls oracles. Yes, she is an abnormal stigma, but she might also be the sage. The world is full of possibilities. Wow. So a sage that didn't have powers before randomly has powers now that can prove the legend that all of the people here believe. We need to investigate to find out the truth and weed out the contradictions. Let's follow her back to the tower. Be careful. Looks like there's monsters here. Oh, I thought it was going to be a stealth mission. Is it because their owner is distracted or because they have lost order for a moment? Are they dead? Okay. Now, perfect timing, kinda. Jesus. So this is what she meant by make way for me. There we go, we found the right crystal. Oh, never mind. There we go. Whoa.
どうやら
Looks like
賢者は
the sage is
行動に戻っ
back
た
in the
みたいです
tower. When the two returned to the tower, the tower of it was lit again. The top of the tower did light up once the sage returned. A newborn Stigmata dominated an ancient legend and created true order.
さっき言っていた
We have
矛盾
proven
は解消で
our
きましたが
hypothesis. What's next? Dot dot dot.
それはもちろ
Of
ん
course, we can only learn. Huh?
目にしたことが
Seeing
真
is
実
believing, isn't it?
そうよね
Since we can demonstrate her
彼女が
power,
私たちに能力を見
since
せ
she
られ
can
る
demonstrate her powers to us,
きっ
then
と
she
全て
can
の
also
経
show
緯
us
に
how
説明できる
it
はず
all
よもしか
happened.
したら
This
この
universe
世界
may
は
be
もの
in
す
a
ごく
very
複
complex
雑な状況
situation,
に置かれているの
but
かも
once
し
we
れない
find the truth,
でも
we'll
一
be
度
a
真
step
相に触
closer
れられ
to
れ
our
ば
target.
先に注意
Let's
してお
get
きま
something
すが
straight. If we need to understand this entire situation, we might have to stay in this bubble universe for a relatively long time.
私たちの残りの
That
計
seems
画を
rather
考
unfair
え
to
れ
the
ば
rest of our
ミステル
plan.
は
You
自
are
分の好奇
probably
心の
not
ためだ
only
けに
pursuing
真
this out
相を
of
突き止めようと
curiosity,
して
right? Oh, she is. She's curious. Misteln replied with a mysterious smile, and Prometheus thought she's still as whimsical as ever. The door to the tower slowly opened before the two of them. After a few days, the tower remained lit, but things were changing outside in the holy city.
どうかしら
How is it,
プロメテウス
Prometheus? Do you
データ
have
は足
enough
りてる
data?
職業選抜の
If
システ
you're
ムを
referring
作
to the
るた
data
めのデ
used
ー
to
タのこ
build
と
the
でしたら
hiring
もう
system,
十分足りています
there is enough. I just need
完成までに
another
はあと
43 hours
43
to
時間
complete
必要
it.
です。
お疲れ様
You have worked hard.
何
I
しろ
only suggest the idea
私はアイ
after
デア
all.
を出
I
すこ
only
としか
suggested
し
the
てない
idea
の
after
喜ぶの
all.
は時期尚
Don't
早で
celebrate
す。
just yet.
シ
This
ステム
is
構築
just
のため
data
に
to
必要
build
な
a
データは
system.
収
It
集で
doesn't
きてい
mean
ます
that
が
it can operate
作
on
っ
its
た無線と
own.
ソルトス
For
ノ
the
ーの
next
新しい
generation of
管理制度
management
を
in the
正
holy
しく稼
city
働
to
させるため
operate
に
it
は
smoothly,
住民た
we
ち
need
か
to
ら
collect
も
more
っと
data
多く
from
の
the
データを集
residents.
める必要があり
Wow,
ま
so
す。
that explains why in the previous act, all of these people had Prometheus as like an AI robot to answer like their freaking questions and everything, and why they have like freaking what's it called, systems to like you put in information and it gives you an automatic job based on the information you have. So it explains this was basically Misteln's idea to make something like that, and Prometheus had it built.
そして
And aside from the hiring system, we still need to construct a security management system, an armament planning. Alright, slow down, we don't need to complete all of that immediately.
久々にちゃんとした仕
It's
事が
the
でき
first
て
proper work we have had in a while, but I didn't think you'll find so much joy in
楽
it.
しんでいるわけではあ
Much
りません。
more than finding joy in it,
コンタ
we
の賢者
if we
もしくは
don't
住民たち
perfect
に
this, the
追い出さ
sage
れ
or
るかもしれま
residents
せんから
would chase us out.
少なくとも
At least I don't
私はそう
intend
考
to
え
do
てい
that.
ないあら
Oh, hello,
Konnichiwa.
great sage. Dot dot dot. The sage frowned it as if she wasn't used to being referred as great by this unpredictable and whimsical existence before her. She had tried to correct her, but it didn't
プロメ
work.
テウスがこんなに
The
もやる
sage
気を見
must
せてるんだ
feel
もの
assured seeing
賢者
Prometheus
様も
work
安
so
心ね
hard.
私たちを
To
置いてくれて
repay
い
your
る恩に報い
hospitality,
るために
we
も
will definitely
ちゃんと
manage
セ
the
ントソ
holy
ルトス
city
ノー
as
を管理
well.
してみせるわ言ったはず
I
だ
have said it before.
君たちの本
I
当の
don't
目
care
的
about
な
your
ど気
true
にしていな
motive.
い
As long
やっ
as
ていることが世界の
as
秩序の
long
た
as
めにな
what
る
you
なら
do
それでいいん
aids
だ
in maintaining the order of this
あの
universe.
日君が
And
指
you have
摘したよう
mentioned
に
that day
セントソル
there
ト
are
スノーの管
loopholes
理に
in the
は
management
大
of
き
the
な穴
holy
が
city. I cannot leave the power.
私は
I cannot leave the
行動から
tower
長く
for an
離れられ
extended
ない
period of time.
争い
But
を
I
解
must
決する
handle
ためには
conflicts
自らそう
personally.
よ
Exactly.
だからあなたに
So
は
not
予
only do
言
you
をする
need a
忍者だ
hermit
け
who
でなく
can
私たちみたいな助っ人も必要なのよ
prophesize, but also assistants like
あれほど
us.
短い時
As
間の中
expected
で
of an
新
idea,
たな交
you
渉の手札を
manage
見つけ
to
られ
find
る
a
さすがはイデアといったところですね。
bargaining chip, bargaining a chip for negotiating within such a
皮
short
肉は
time.
やめて
Don't be sarcastic. I'm doing
私
this
は
to
誰
help everyone. Regardless, Prometheus has completed the first step of our agreement. I must thank you for that. Then, Misteln and Shigure, you are responsible for the second step. For the second step, when can you begin? What's the hurry? Before incorporating uncertain factors from other universes, we must make sure that the holy city is more stable than before. No, I agree, but it doesn't obstruct the progress of your plan. That template is of utmost important to me. Don't worry, I'm already preparing for it. I'm great at guiding things within dreams into spatial grips. Who knows, you might have a chance to meet the template soon. Template. That's good then. But she's not as difficult as the both of us. It will be difficult as confronting two people. Should I give you some information beforehand? Of course, please do. Leave it to me. After all, we, What? After all, we, are pretty much old friends. So they know of their existence being here. Ooh, so now we are catched up with what's happening all around with the first act and this second act that's just got released. Interesting. Really interesting. So in 7 days from now, so basically a week from now, the last act, act 3 for chapter 37 is going to get released. So it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be pretty spicy now that, you know, they know that they're here and we caught up on what Prometheus and Misteln were doing.